The Toronto actual Maple Leafs have signed Joe Thornton, and I'm here to break it all down for you. I just need to take a breather off the bat. I'm sorry. I don't even know how to react to this. There's so many emotions going through me right now. It's literally like a roller coaster. I'm happy that we signed Joe Thornton, but then I'm like, oh, we already have Jason Spezza. What is he doing here? I'm going to break everything down for you in this video. You guys already know what it is from the title. As you guys can see, Elias is not here. He has work, so I'll be doing this one alone because I wanted a quick reaction. We recorded a bunch of videos yesterday that we'll be posting tomorrow, but let's just get straight into this. Jumbo Joe signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is an actual shocker if you've been following the Jumbo Joe story so far. So yesterday, Joe Thornton announced that he will be going to, I believe it was, give me 1 second, trying to pull up the name, DC Danov, I think that's how you pronounce it, of Switzerland, and they said he could be playing as soon as Saturday. And just right there, you're like, oh, okay, there goes the Leafs, right? Well, no, because the option on the contract was that he could also come back to the NHL. He could still sign with anyone. And he was just, I think maybe he was doing that to kind of push the Leafs to sign him. I think maybe the Leafs were kind of on a doubt to maybe sign him. And we'll get into why in just a minute. But let's just break down the contract. The contract is pretty much league minimum, 1 year. I love it, $700K. It's hard to be mad at league min. But in the Toronto Maple Leafs case, you kind of could be mad. Because I'm pulling up Cap Friendly right now. The projected cap, including Joe Thornton, right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs is $1.644 million. That's not a lot of money because you still have to sign Travis Dermott and Ilya Mikheyev, and both of those guys are worth more than that. So it's becoming very, very hard to sign those players, and you just wonder, what is Dubas doing? Why is he doing this? Well, I could kind of see why he's doing this. I think he's taking a bit of a risk, but essentially, if you've been looking the past few days, the moves Dubas made is kind of for a taxi squad. Now, I'll tell you what that is in a sec. Pretty much, the Aaron Dell signing was a backup goalie, right? And I think Dubas is just trying to get the team ready if there is no AHL season this year, which kind of seems likely at this point. Because, as you know, baseball didn't have a minor league season, and they acquired something sort of they called it the taxi squad, which is just a bunch of players going to the games and traveling with a team and being with a team, but not actually playing or being counted on the roster. However, if an injury happens, they would easily be able to come in. They're just players set aside. Now, I think that Jumbo Joe will be in sort of a fourth line taxi squad position. And before people come after me saying, oh, McCon, what are you saying? It's Joe Thornton. He's the captain of, he was the captain of San Jose. He's a legend, blah, 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 blah. Listen, this man is literally right now 41 years old. I'm looking at his points from last season. In 70 games with San Jose, he scored 31 points. And you could say San Jose wasn't a good team last year. Well, okay, the year before, he had 51 points. The year before that, he had 36. He has been on a decline. And one of the big reasons San Jose hasn't been good in the last couple of years is because Joe Thornton has not been good. It's plain and simple. I hate to say it, but it's true. Now, he hasn't been good if you're comparing him to, obviously, his earlier days where he was scoring like 100, like I'm looking here from 2005-2006 season. This man scored 125 points. That's a lot of points. Like, holy crap, that's insane. If you even compare it to today's NHL. However, obviously this man will decline. He's 41 years old. Obviously, he's going to decline. But the thing that makes me the most upset about this, and I think the thing that makes a lot of Leafs fans upset about this, is that we signed Jason Spezza. Now, I'll tell you why the two are different. Jason Spezza, to me, is not... He's interesting because, yes, he's not an everyday player just like Joe Thornton. But Jason Spezza has accepted his role as not being the franchise player anymore. And he's kind of been playing that bottom six position. But this man has been on the power play, and he's been gritty, and he understands his role now. And I just don't know if you could say that about Joe Thornton. I mean, of course, we haven't seen him play. But is Joe Thornton coming in here thinking, listen, even if I am bottom six, I'm going to still be able to crack the lineup or crack the top six or maybe even be on the power play? but I don't think he will. I really don't. And Jason Spezza has proven that he can be, and Jason Spezza has proven last season that he has way more to give in this NHL. So I am very much okay and very happy with the Jason Spezza signing. Joe Thornton, to me, is starting to look like he's done. Like he doesn't have that much left to give. So why you sign him is one thing, but how he plays, obviously the two are correlated, but to me, it's hard. Every time I just keep thinking about this, I keep trying to put him in a position that will fit with this lineup, and it's hard because I don't really see him fitting in with this lineup at all. You could say maybe when Jason Spezza doesn't play, Joe Thornton plays. Well, in that case, Joe Thornton's not going to do any well for you. He will not be in a flow at all, and I think that he would not have signed with an NHL team if that was the case. I think Kyle Dubas has definitely promised him games, or else he would have just gone to Switzerland. Honestly, he would have. There's no reason for him to. He's not going to come back to the NHL to only sit on the taxi squad. But I do think him going into the lineup pushes some of those guys that we had cracking the lineup to maybe the taxi squad. I'm thinking maybe it's tough because I'm thinking Pierre Engvall, but Pierre Engvall to me is a better player than Joe Thornton right now. If not Pierre Engvall, I'm thinking maybe Joey Anderson, who they just got. I think those guys go on your taxi squad, and it kind of makes sense because the Marlies right now have not been as depth as they were a couple seasons ago. I know since 2017 to literally like last year, the Leafs have had depth in forward position, but that depth is slowly going. I mean, look at Jeremy Bracco. He just signed with Carolina yesterday, and slowly the depth for the Leafs is going, and I think Kyle Dubas is just trying to fill out those taxi spot positions right now. I think Joe Thornton cracks your lineup. He's going to be your fourth liner on some games. I think he'll play 3/4 of the season. I think he'll get off days. Same with Jason Spezza. That's why that's a kind of con that you have two players that on your team that are only going to be playing 3/4 of the season if they're healthy. Obviously, that's a con going into the season. But if you look at this the other way, it gives some of the younger guys on the taxi squad that will be traveling. Again, this is if there's a taxi squad. Either way, the AHL guys, it'll give them some time with the Leafs, but not too much. I just think he's signing for depth at this point. But this does require a trade. And this kind of confirms a future trade happening for the Leafs because right now, Ilya Mikheyev is going into arbitration. And if you think he's going to get less than 1.6 million, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. And even if he does get 1.6 million, you still have Travis Dermott. So either way, however this plays out, there's going to be a trade for the Leafs. And I personally think it will be Justin Hall, just because it would be Alex Kerfoot. That would be my guess, but I'll say Justin Hall for now, just because Alex Kerfoot and Jimmy Vesey have both played together in Harvard and both had that Harvard connection, Harvard chemistry. And I think that's a big reason why Jimmy Vesey signed with the Leafs. And I think that's going to play well. And I think Dubas realizes that. So I think those two will be paired together. And I don't think he's going to get, Kerfoot will get traded for that reason. However, if you're looking at Justin Hall, why would you keep him? I mean, you would say, oh, McCann, but why wouldn't you keep Travis Dermott? Justin Hall is the only right-handed defenseman they have. Right, but you have to know that Dubas has literally already played out how he wants to use Dermott next year. He's literally said, I want Dermott to be on the right side. He's already making plans for this guy. Now, of course, he could go back on those plans and like that. He's the GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs. No problem. But I just don't think he would. There's no reason for him to go say, hey, I'm going to go play Travis Dermott on the right side next year and just trade him like that. I don't think Kyle Dubas is that type of person. How does this all end up? It is kind of unfortunate for Justin Hall because if you've just been following the story, Justin Hall in his first season, second season with the Leafs, he had that one game earlier, but first season with the Leafs pretty much was a healthy scratch the entire season. So he didn't play hockey. He wasn't in the Marlies. He wasn't with the Leafs. Well, he was with the Leafs, but never played with the Leafs, played one game. under Mike Babcock during that season. And then finally he comes back the next year, has a breakout year, just does great, and then was such a good story when he got signed. And then he got signed to his contract, and things kind of, 2020 wasn't his year. He just kind of went downhill. He had a great first half of the season as well, but after that, things kind of went downhill. It's unfortunate. I really hate it. I hate to see it because Justin Hall seems like a great guy, and obviously during the pandemic, he was kind of that. He did those social media series, and he was just such a good guy with the Leafs. So it's hard to see that happen. It's hard to see him go if he does go, but I just don't see another scenario here. Dubas has to trade someone. To me, it's going to be him, but hey, I might be wrong. We never know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is kind of the breakdown, my initial reaction to Joe Thornton signing. There'll be more videos tomorrow that I recorded yesterday with Ilias. And then Ilias will be back again, and we'll break down the Joe Thornton signing later. And I'm assuming we're going to be breaking down a trade soon with the Leafs as well. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the like button, hit the comments, hit them all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it works out. Peace.